Grocery store aisles can feel like a real maze, can't they? Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. With all those marketing claims promising the world and the tiny print on nutrition labels, it's easy to get totally lost. But learning to read and understand this information is one of the most powerful tools you have to take charge of what you eat and make choices that truly support your well-being goals. Welcome to NuPod. A few years ago, I went grocery shopping with a friend, Amélie, who was 42 at the time. She was really frustrated because she just couldn't lose the weight she wanted, even though she was trying hard. We spent almost an hour looking closely at the labels on her usual healthy products. The big surprise came with her fat-free fruit yogurt, 3 teaspoons of sugar per serving, almost as much as a candy bar. She thought she was making a good choice, but the lack of fat was made up for with a lot of sugar, which didn't keep her full and actually encouraged her body to store more. This discovery helped her understand that you really have to be careful, even with products that look innocent. Let's start with the essentials, the Nutrition Facts Panel. It's your best ally. The ingredient list is absolutely fundamental because the order truly matters. Ingredients are listed from the largest quantity to the smallest. If sugar, or any of its many forms, like glucose syrup, fructose, dextrose, or maltodextrin, shows up near the top of that list, consider it a red flag. Generally, the shorter the list and the more recognizable the ingredients are, the better. The main goal here is to favor whole or minimally processed foods because their composition is simpler and usually much easier to understand and control. Sugars often sneak into our food. The word sugars on a nutrition label includes both naturally occurring sugars and added sugars. To tell them apart, you need to check the ingredients list. If sugars are high up on that list, even in things you wouldn't think of as sweet, like processed breads or sauces, it's a good idea to be mindful. The World Health Organization recommends keeping free sugars to less than 10% of your total daily energy intake, and ideally even less than 5%. When it comes to fats, look for total fat and especially saturated fat on the label, which you want to keep in check. Trans fats, often from hydrogenation, are best avoided. Instead, focus on unsaturated fats, which are good for your heart and help you feel full. Finally, salt is another silent enemy, showing up a lot in prepared meals and processed meats. Too much salt can lead to heart problems. Public Health France recommends not exceeding 5 grams of salt per day. Fiber is your best friend. It helps you feel full, keeps your digestion running smoothly, and feeds your gut microbes. The more fiber a product has, specifically over 3 grams per 100 grams, the better it is for you. Look for whole grains, legumes, and fresh fruits and vegetables. To help you out, the Nutri-Score is a visual tool that ranks products from A to E based on their nutritional profile. It's a quick and easy way to compare 2 similar products. However, it doesn't replace checking the full ingredient list and detailed nutritional facts. An ultra-processed product rated A is still less beneficial than a whole, unprocessed product rated B or C because the Nutri-Score doesn't account for how processed a food is. Food companies get pretty clever trying to convince us their products are healthy. For instance, reduced sugar or low fat often means one ingredient was cut back, but another was boosted to keep the taste and texture. You always need to check the full label. Similarly, a claim like good source of fiber or protein might be true, but the product could still be loaded with sugar, salt, or unhealthy fats. Terms like natural, artisanal, or traditional don't guarantee anything about nutritional quality or whether additives are present. Finally, gluten-free or lactose-free products are helpful for people with intolerances, but they aren't necessarily healthier or lower in calories for everyone else. In fact, they can even be more processed and contain extra sugars or fats to make up for what's missing. One important thing to understand is ultra-processed foods. These are industrial formulations that combine extracted ingredients like oils, sugars, proteins, and often additives such as flavor enhancers, colorings, and emulsifiers. ANSES, in their 2025 research, offered some clarifications. Their ISNT universally agreed upon definition for this category. Furthermore, while high consumption is linked to an increased risk of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and certain cancers, ANSES describes the strength of this evidence as weak. They talk about an association, not a proven cause, and emphasize that the degree of processing doesn't directly translate to a health risk. So, it's not an absolute ban, and no single processed product will make you gain weight on its own. Opting for whole, unprocessed foods and cooking for yourself remains a smart choice for overall nutritional quality, managing salt, added sugar, and satiety, but without turning it into a moral issue. To help you navigate the aisles, here's a simple checklist. In the produce section, go for fresh, in-season, and locally sourced items if you can. Vary the colors for a diverse nutrient intake. Avoid canned fruits in syrup, which are too sugary, and very salty canned vegetables, unless you rinse them well. In the dairy aisle, choose plain yogurts, cow, sheep, goat, plant-based, fresh cheeses, and plain soft cheeses. Steer clear of sweetened fruit yogurts, industrial dessert creams, and very fatty, salty cheeses in large quantities. Finally, in the meat, seafood, and egg section, prioritize lean meats, skinless poultry, rabbit, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, twice a week, white fish, and eggs. Avoid fatty and salty cured meats, except occasionally, and processed meats, like chicken cordon bleu, nuggets. Let's continue our checklist with pantry items. In the savory pantry section, go for legumes, lentils, chickpeas, whole grains, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, quinoa, canned legumes with no added salt, and cold-pressed vegetable oils, olive, canola, walnut. Avoid industrial pre-made meals, packet soups, appetizer crackers, chips, and processed sauces. In the sweet pantry section, opt for dried fruits, in small amounts, unsalted nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, and dark chocolate, greater than 70% cocoa. Steer clear of industrial cookies, chocolate bars, overly sweet breakfast cereals, and processed jams. In the bakery aisle, prioritize whole wheat bread, multi-grain bread, and sourdough bread. Avoid industrial sandwich bread, pastries, and baked goods. Finally, for beverages, water, unsweetened tea, unsweetened coffee, and herbal teas are your best choices. Steer clear of sodas, processed fruit juices, and energy drinks. By taking this mindful approach when you shop, you'll be investing in your health and well-being, consciously choosing what truly nourishes your body. Make sure to subscribe to New Pod so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes.